Hello there, this is Gage Williams coming at you with a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary on CP Gorge. We're going to be playing Scout to start off this video, and about halfway through we switch over to Demo Man. On Scout we are using the Babyface's Blaster, the Flying Guillotine, and the Vintage Snadman, or Sandman, depending on how you want to pronounce it. CP Gorge is a map that I really love and am sad that it's not played near as often as I feel it should be. Especially lately, like in the past month or so, it has been almost impossible for me to find a Gorge map. So as soon as I found this one, I just knew that I had to try and get a commentary up for it, because I needed to play it real bad. So, we're gonna go over there, getting a kill with the Guillotine combo, which is one of my favorite additions in Team Fortress 2. And speaking of favorite additions, we have the Babyface's Blaster, a weapon that I feel is still a bit underused, because it is so different and so unique compared to all the rest of the Scouts' primaries that, I don't know, it's just strange. It's a very different playstyle. The Babyface's Blaster, if you didn't know, you start off moving slower, a little faster than the speed of a soldier, and it does 30% less damage. To make up for this, it has 40% accurate, so it has a tighter bullet spread, and, hold on, right here is a fail moment right there. I should not have been standing out in the open, without my speed. It was I don't know. I thought that I could just hit somebody with my cleaver and get some speed, and bad at this game. As I was saying, Babyface's Blaster. You start off moving slower, about the speed of a soldier. 30% less damage, 40% more accurate. When you do damage, you are going to be filling up a boost meter that allows you to move at up to twice the speed of the Babyface's Blaster's nerf penalty, which is about... I'm trying to think of the speed comparison to a regular Scout, but it is really fast. You get to your full speed after doing 99 damage with any one of your weapons. I'm pretty late in talking about this, because this weapon's been out for ages now, so... I want to talk about what it's used for. This is not what you use for typical Scout play. Scout is usually very good at picking people off, doing good, consistent damage, and, well, dodging things. He's very good at getting behind enemy lines, dealing good damage, and picking off weaker targets. The Babyface's Blaster plays much differently. It is meant to be a heckling tool, a harassment tool. You show up, you do some decent damage just to irritate the person and make them either retreat or get team support. And then you just run away, because no one's going to catch you, and it is very hard to track you. It's something that I prefer running on offense usually, but it is still very viable for defense. What's good about it for offense is once you get your speed up, you can do things like just run straight past sentries without dying most of the time, because you'll just outrun its range. So you can get behind enemy lines and just annoy them to death. So here, now that we're on defense, I see that there's not much that I'm going to be able to do. I'm not really feeling Scout anyway at the moment, so I'm going to switch off to Demo Man. And I'm going to be using the Lock and Load, the Charge and Targe, and the Vintage Islander. Actually, I think the Lock and Targe are both vintage too. They might be. Yes, they are. All vintage, because you gotta get that blue text. It is important. It matters. So to talk about Demo Man, for about the first 3 years that I played this game, Demo Man was without question my main class. I played Demo Man just about every time that I launched the game, because I loved Demo Man. And then lately, this past year, I have really not played much of Demo Man at all. I don't know, I've just not been feeling him. So, we're going to be doing some Demo Man here, using the Lock and Load, which I always have on. I mean, seriously, unless I'm using the Alibaba's Wee Booties or Bootlegger, I pretty much never take off the Lock. I love it so much. It is one of my favorite additions in the game. The Lock and Load, I'm not even going to go through its stats because it has been out for 2 years or so now. It has been out for a seriously long time. The extra movement speed on the projectile is part of the reason I love it so much. And the other is the ridiculous splash damage. You can hit one person, and due to the increased damage, and pipe bombs, direct hits tending to have large splash radiuses, the lock and load will kill like 2 or 3 people next to the guy that you shot, or even the building that you shot. And right here is a testament to the Islander's hidden extra range. I mean, a lot of people don't remember, and I certainly don't, that the Islander has way bigger range than the view model support suggests. Got lucky and got that medic there, picking off a sniper that I could barely see, just because I thought I saw him, so I might as well shoot. If he's there, he's gonna die, because that's what the lock and load does. It blows things up. The stock launcher I almost never use. It's been well over a year since I last even put the thing on outside of man versus machine. And that's not to say that the stock launcher is bad. I think the stock launcher is overall the most consistent and is probably the best option the Demo Man has. But I just don't find it all that fun, in honesty. It's got nothing compared to the lock for me. I don't know, there's something about the harder to use aspect of the lock. The extra projectile speed is lovely, and the splash damage is just ridiculous. It is so much fun to shoot an engineer's building with like 1 or 2 pipes and watch everything and everyone that was standing next to it just blow up. And right here, I'm going for my 4th head. I should have just charged him right away, so I was pretty fortunate that the lock did not kill him, because otherwise it would have been a wasted opportunity. Got all 4 heads, so I've got the speed and movement, speed and movement, they're the same thing. The speed and health upgrades, or buffs, I should say. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Speed and health buffs, because I got all 4 heads with the Islander, so it is going to be very difficult for the team to kill me, unless I overextend, which happens a little later in the video. With the Charge and Targe's defenses, and my extra health and movement speed, as long as I play it carefully, the enemy team can't really do much other than make me back off. This guy, he's coming at me with stickies. He can do enough burst damage to get me, so I jump down below so that I can have a safer method of just trying to hit him with the lock. I miss all my shots, but pick off the pyro down there. Criticola Scout somehow gets back there. I don't know how he snuck around like that. Props to him for trying, though. So we're going to be going around. There's only about a minute and a half. I can't really tell. When I'm doing this post-commentary, the window that I'm using is pretty small. I think that there's about 1 minute and 6 seconds. I can't tell for sure. But that's what it looks like. Right there, great long-range shot. That is why the extra movement speed, or projectile speed, on the lock is so nice, that you can get long-range pickoffs like that. Death to Mr. Lid, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's actually a brother of mine. He does not understand how great that Mr. Lid commercial is. He's complaining about auto balance, because why wouldn't you complain about auto balance? Right there, I should have died there. I got very lucky. There's just no doubt about it. I overextended. Soldier got the jump on me. I somehow get away. Babyface's Blaster Scout. There's not much that I can do about him. It is going to be extremely difficult for me to actually hit him. But our medic pops Uber to save himself, and I'm going to use that to prevent them from moving through. And crit lock and load in the face. That's going to kill their charge right there. I'm going to survive a crit, which is kind of surprising. I dodged that rocket, and there we go. The round is over. Top scoring with, I don't know how many points. Off memory, it was like 23-ish. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll get more TF2. See you next time.